As you can see behind me, this is the South Carolina rugby team. As of now, they're only considered a club sport and not recognized by the NCAA. I'm here at Williams-Brice Stadium where number 19 USC is about to play number 1 Alabama. This is a huge game. The Gamecocks couldn't pull it off last year against the Crimson Tide, but they're very hopeful about the game today. Wow, well the number 19 Gamecocks beat the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide in a score of 35-21. This was a huge upset and one that South Carolina desperately needed. The USC women's rugby team plays a very intense contact sport, and they admit it does look very dangerous.
It doesn't matter how good a game it is or how little you get tackled, you're going to get hurt. I mean, it might not be, an injury that you have to come off the field for.
But they know how to prepare themselves and block out the fear.
I basically go into it thinking that I'm going to hurt the other person, and that way, if you go in it with a hard intensity and very aggressively, you're less likely to get hurt. It's when you hesitate and you kind of question yourself, that's when injuries occur.
Their coach and captain say they focus most of practice on learning proper tackling techniques and practice game situations to prepare for big hits. Ashley Wilkes, a trainer for the team, says she is always worried while watching them play.
It's definitely more rough than any other sport I worked. I kind of get a little nervous sometimes because it's so much hitting and they're so rough with each other.
And she says a lot of injuries come with the full contact.
A lot of people have concussions with it because there's so much violence. Like, they're really, really rough out here. So a lot of the girls just decide to play through it. It's just a few, like broken fingers, I get a lot. Sometimes ankles.
The women say they play because they love the sport and their team and understand injuries come with it. Katie Simpson, Carolina News. The Magic started early in the game with quarterback Steven Garcia throwing the first touchdown pass to tailback Marcus Lattimore. Over 82,000 fans packed Williams-Brice Stadium for the history-making game. Garcia had the game of his life, throwing 3 touchdowns in the first half.
And it was unbelievable feeling. I'm not really sure how to describe the feeling right now, but it's unbelievable.
That was Steven's best game. That was his best game that he's played here at South Carolina.
Lattimore was also a star, rushing for 2 touchdowns in the second half, sealing the deal 35-21.
And so our guys played their hearts out, a lot of outstanding individual plays, and we held on, got a few breaks here and there, but that's the best our offense has played ever since I've been here, without a doubt.
South Carolina moved up to number 10 in the rankings after beating the top-ranked Crimson Tide.
I guess it couldn't have come at a better time, playing against the number 1 team. The crowd was really into it, and I think we responded unbelievably well.
Today, South Carolina students were still stunned at the amazing win by the Gamecocks.
It was the best game I've ever been to.
It was crazy. The atmosphere was unbelievable.
It was so amazing. Probably the best game I've ever been to.
That's what we love about SEC football.
We're awesome. Go Gamecocks.
This magical win gives Carolina fans a new reason to keep the faith in their Gamecocks and hope the magic continues the rest of the season. Katie Simpson, Carolina News. The tailgating scene looked like any other away game. A bunch of South Carolina fans packed into a few spots, ready to cheer their Gamecocks on. Until a bus rolled in, music started playing, and people started dancing. The Carolina Fanatics had arrived. The group has been traveling to away games for 20 years.
I'd rather go to away games than home games. It's more fun. We have more fun on the away trips. We do things like, like we're doing today, tailgating and partying and having fun,
Carolina Fanatics have been doing this for so long, they can't imagine life without each other.
Everyone on my bus is like family. We've been traveling together so long, it's just like one family. We take care of each other. Anybody needs anything, we always help them out.
As you can see behind me, this is the bus of the Carolina Fanatics, and we've got some right here. These are a loyal bunch of Gamecocks that have been going to the away games for 20 years. It's an amazing experience, and we love to see them here.
It's always so fun and interesting. We do what we call the party buzz, and we have a good time, and everybody enjoys themselves. So that's the main thing. Even win, lose, or whatever, we enjoy. We have a good time.
So even if the Gamecocks are having a rough game or season, the Carolina Fanatics will be there to cheer them on and help other Gamecock faithfuls dance and have fun too. Katie Simpson, Carolina News. As you can see behind me, this is the South Carolina rugby team. As of now, they're only considered a club sport and not recognized by the NCAA. So how do the players feel about rugby not being an NCAA sport?
I'm angry because it's a very legitimate sport, and I feel like it should be an NCAA sanctioned sport.
It sucks. To be great at rugby, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of visits to the weight room, a lot of sprinting, and it just, you put all this work into something, you would hope someone would back you, and it just, when it's not there, it shuts you down.
Title IX says there must be an equal number of women and men receiving scholarships at a university. And since football takes up 105 scholarships, there aren't enough left for rugby. Since rugby doesn't make the cut for scholarships because other sports take them all, they are not entitled to perks like free equipment and funding for travel.
We're putting out of pocket to play a game we love whenever some of these guys are playing and not even just sitting on the bench playing football.
Even in the U.S., like 90% of colleges have a rugby team, so it needs to get done as an NCAA sport to make it official and legitimate and get funding from schools so the sport can progress.
And it's so structured that I feel like the school should be behind it 100%. It draws a huge crowd. I feel like you provide the proper funding for it, it could become a legitimate contender.
For now, there are no plans to move rugby up to the next level, so players will have to continue to pay for their own equipment, insurance, and travel. And they say they will continue to play just for the love of the game. Katie Simpson, Carolina News.